I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your Bullish Bit, brought to you by bitrefill.com, your one-stop shop to live on Bitcoin and Lightning. They've got all the best gift cards, things like Amazon, Apple, Best Buy, Airbnb, Uber, and much more. You can even do hotel bookings, you can do all of your travel, and you can now grab prepaid MasterCards as long as you have a US address that you can input. Check them out today, bitrefill.com. Links are down below to sign up now.
I went to a conference last week in New Jersey, at Princeton, New Jersey, and one of the people speaking there was Carol House, who is the former head of cybersecurity in the National Security Council, but she's held a lot of roles in government in the White House. She gave a talk in which she was kind of saying to the crypto industry, like, prepare yourself for serious regulations coming down the pike. You've got a lot of enemies in DC right now. And one of the things she said at the end of her talk was, you guys need to get the relevant people in the room and talk about how to police yourselves, like how to regulate yourselves, basically, or you're going to be regulated by us, the state. Like, you have to figure out how to stop payments from going to North Korea. Like, if we have an address in North Korea that we want payments not to come from, you guys have to figure out how to stop that. Or, like, she used this phrase, like, roll back the chain. And then she just went through the law. And her basic point was, in the US, you have the freedom of speech, but you do not have the freedom to transact. As soon as speech carries value with it, it is no longer a freedom that is protected by the First Amendment. It is now subject to basically complete surveillance and control at the discretion of, our overlords. It was just one of these moments where I was like, okay, back to the Nostr discussion earlier. We've got to be ready for this at the level of mining, at the level of pools. I mean, this is why Stratum V2 is so important, but also why we can't have too much concentration of mining in the US or US controlled regions. This is why Russia, I mean, I'm glad that 20% of mining is still happening in China. I'm glad that it's in Iran. I'm glad that it's in Nigeria. I'm glad it's in places that are beyond the reach of the US government. But my panel was next. And the question of our panel, the title of our panel was, if Bitcoin is the answer, what is the question? Right? And of course, there's a computer scientist on the panel from Princeton who was like, yeah, I don't think there is one. And I had like an easy answer that Carol House had just set me up for. I was like, okay, so Carol House just said, we need to find a room with the relevant like power players in it so that we can police ourselves. But there is no such room for Bitcoin because there's 40,000 plus node runners spread all around the world. And they're the ones who matter in governance. And so the question to which Bitcoin is an answer is, how could you build a monetary system such that there is no possibility of getting people in a room and deciding to comply with a central authority? That just isn't even a possibility by design. If you tried to design a technology like that, Bitcoin would be an answer to that task, right? Yeah. It is the answer to that task. Yeah. And then like all of the discussion about like Ethereum versus Bitcoin or other, the qualities of the chain, it became crystal clear to me in that moment what Bitcoin is. And it's like, we're going to find out. Everybody speculates about the security and decentralization of these various consensus mechanisms and historical chains. We're about to find out.